we've got Martha Coleman and Simone Eubanks. Very nice to see you both. And they are Brownie leaders, and they are getting political. Were you in the Brownies?
I was in the Brownies.
You were?
I was,
you were.
I had the badges and all sorts.
Some things surprised me. But anyway, so basically the Girl Guides have for the first time published a manifesto, and this is an 8-point manifesto, and what you're asking for is that girls' voices be heard and be listened to more by politicians. Now tell me about your concerns.
Well, we produced the Girls Matter campaign because after talking to 2,500 7 to 25-year-olds, we found that they feel incredibly disillusioned by politics. Over half of them don't think that politicians actually listen to them and take their views into account. So as the UK's leading girls and young women charity, we want to make sure that we get their voices heard. Something incredibly integral to Girlguiding as an organisation.
And the way you are heard is another thing. I mean, we had a row here in the studio yesterday. I was just surprised we even had to bring it up. But it was just newspaper terms. It was page 3, right? And it was just like, and this section is called News and Briefs. It's as if you can only have this opinion from a woman if she's half naked in a newspaper. In 2014?
See, yeah, that's one of our calls for change. We have an 8-point thing, and one of ours is empowering women to stand up against sexism and stereotyping in the media. Because thinking that women can only be respected when they're in their underwear is just outdated, and it's wrong, and it needs to change.
And it's really interesting because you're saying that young women have that views, and you've been surveying young women, and I think 87% of girls said that they think women are judged more on their looks than on their ability, and 75%, as you were saying, think there are too many images of naked women or half-naked women in the media.
It's definitely detrimental to their body confidence. I've got 7-year-old brownies who are concerned about the way they look, their weight, and it's like, at 7 years old, you shouldn't be thinking about that. You should just be thinking about like what you're going to eat for lunch, who you're going to go and play with tomorrow. That shouldn't be weighting you down at such a young age. Yeah,
look, this ties in with a campaign that we launched last week on Sky News, which is called Stand Up and Being Counted. We've got loads of reaction in on this. Have a listen to what we're going to hear here from Pippa.
I believe that young people no longer have a voice. Our ideas are discredited and we are misunderstood. From the day we are born, our lives and decisions are decided for us by our parents and the government. This strips us of our independence. This ongoing problem can be solved by allowing young people to have voices and to be heard.
OK, well, what do you make about the whole thing that you should be in politics, you should cast your vote, and that it does count? I mean, do you believe it counts, cast your vote?
Counts. Definitely counts. Because we're a part of the country, you have a group of people that are making decisions for the country, and we should be a part of that. We should be the ones that are helping make those decisions for us.
See, when you grow up, you're going to end up like her. You just sound exactly... You see, you know your own mind, you know what you want, Simone. There's a lot... I mean, when I talk to you here, there's a lot you want to get out, isn't there?
Always.
That's very good. Isabel?
Well, I mean, we hear so much about how the young aren't interested in politics and how they're apathetic, and that's we're obviously part of this campaign that we're doing, Stand Up Be Counted, is trying to get young people engaged. But that sounds to be a totally different experience from what you're encountering, certainly amongst the brownies, that they do care, is that the politicians aren't necessarily listening. Is that right?
Yeah, they're not listening to the views, and I'm not surprised that they are apathetic. When you see politicians doing U-turns constantly, like you don't know if you can trust them at all, and especially when the views that matter to young people aren't being heard, and especially for girls under the age of 18 who obviously can't vote. As an organisation, we want to get their voices across and what they believe in.
Well, on that point, this girl, Rebecca, got in touch with us, and her view is that politics should be taught at school.
I'm going to be 18 in October, and that means that I'll be able to vote in the general election next May. Voting in May is going to be very difficult for me because I know nothing about politics or the voting system or the different parties and their policies. I've been told numerous times that I should be the one to go and independently research the different parties. Surely it should be the job of the schools to educate their pupils on politics, so when it comes around to the vote, we can make an educated decision and vote for the party that we think would benefit our country most.
You like that idea, Jacqueline?
Exactly right, because my daughter's just started her A-level course and she is taking politics, but she's gone into it not knowing anything about it. So that's the subject that should really be taught a lot earlier in schools, from the age of 11 through to 16, so people are informed.
And what difference does it make, the fact that this comes from the guides? And I'm looking down this manifesto that you have, and you've got these 8 points, and they're very, very interesting. If people want to see these 8 points, how do they see those?
You go to girlguiding.org.uk/Girls Matter.
Or you can use the Twitter hashtag, which is #GirlsMatter, to see people's views.
And do the guides, sorry for interrupting, do the guides matter these days? You see, because I'm seeing you two in a whole sort of different light as guides.
Well, the guides are we've got over 500,000 members in the UK alone, and we're a worldwide organisation. So I think that we definitely matter, and one of the points of Girlguiding is get their voices heard. As an organisation, we allow everyone from the youngest Rainbow, who's 5, to have their voice heard within the organisation. So we feel that as a country we should be listening to young girls and young women as well.
It's brilliant.
Good. OK. Thank you very much indeed. They are Brownie leaders, Martha Coleman, Simone Eubanks. Good luck with your manifesto and your agenda, and we hope that you do get your voices heard. Thank you very much indeed. And to find out more about that campaign, you can go to our website as well, www.skynews.com/standupbecounted.